Hi everybody, welcome to Rejuvenate Health Tips for the busy, crazy, high-performing woman. These are designed to be quick, short episodes that are both live in our Facebook group and are on the podcast at a later date, but to just help you keep taking steps towards being as healthy as possible and developing that impeccable health. My name is Dr. Alex Swenson Ridley. I am an integrative women's health coach and entrepreneur and all the things, wife, mom, all those things, as well as you. And I just love showing up and sharing these things with you. So today I want to talk about this episode of the podcast won't actually be out for a while, but I recently had the pleasure of interviewing Dr. Michelle Gordon. She and I talked all things menopause related, but while I was talking with her, she mentioned a book that she'd learned a lot from about nutrition, and I decided to check it out. And I'll be honest, it's rare these days that I read a book that has something to do with eating or nutrition or any of these things and actually learn something new from it. But this particular one, I did. What the book is, it's called The Fat Burn Fix by Dr. Catherine Shanahan. And in it, she talks about one of the biggest contributing factors to the obesity problem in our country that no one is talking about, but I absolutely agree with, and she presented a really compelling argument for this in her book. You can check it out if you want to, but I'm going to kind of summarize what this is for you. Is vegetable oil. And so you can really see a trend in the more and more we've used vegetable oil. It's in everything. Even if it's organic food, it's in it. The more and more we've used that, the more and more our waistlines have expanded, especially in the United States, which is what she was looking at. And so I wanted to just share, I'm taking this on myself, which is getting these oils out of your diet completely. And there's 3 C's and 3 S's. And so she talks about just committing these to memory, and I'm going to suggest you do the same thing. But what they are, the 3 C's are corn, canola, and cottonseed oil. And the 3 S's are soy, sunflower, and safflower. And so I took on this challenge over the weekend of actually looking at these things and being like, okay, what has this in it? And I shouldn't have been surprised, but I was surprised because we still have some processed food in our house, obviously, because I have teenagers and a husband who are really picky and, try not to listen to anything I say. But I try to get the healthier version, right? And the problem is, in organic foods in particular, the health foods, healthier versions of things, sunflower and safflower oil are in like all of them. And so even if you're trying to really make significant changes, you're still getting a lot of this stuff that's not serving our health. They're one of the things that are most responsible for poor energy and not feeling well and not being able to lose weight and having your metabolism screwed up and all of this stuff. And this is why she talks about this in the Fat Burn Fix. And so I've taken on, there's more steps to her process that I'm looking at and kind of evaluating what I think. But this is as an initial thing. Like if you've been struggling, if your energy's tanked, if you feel like you're doing all the things, if you are struggling in any way with wondering what the heck is the next step, and you've never looked at this, I highly recommend you do it. I'm really reevaluating a lot of the things that I've been eating, even knowing as much as I've known about nutrition and about healthy fats and how you're supposed to combine your macros and micros, and I'll talk on another short snippet about kind of metabolic profiling and typing to figure out what those should really look like for you, because that's another thing I've been learning about recently. But sticking with these vegetable oil things, they're in so much. And so I was really surprised, not like I eat like poo, but like there's safflower oil and sunflower oil in the organic protein shake that I recommend to all my patients and have been using myself. And in the oat milk that I've been using, and in all of these things. And so you really want to, this is good reminder for those of you that maybe don't always look at ingredient lists, or you haven't trained yourself to care more about the ingredients than the calorie count and what each part breaks down to. Still important, not nearly as important as what's actually in the stuff that you're eating. So if you want to join me, I'd love to hear in the comments below this video, or if you're watching on the podcast, shoot an email or something to me. Dr. Alex at emergentwomenih.com is where you can find me these days. But let me know that you're taking this on, because I'm really curious just to see what is going to happen. And I've been intentional like the last 3 days of not consuming anything that has these things in them. And my energy's way up. I've worked out like 8 days in a row, which is amazing. Not hard, but I've done something active the last 8 days and like felt good doing it. And my energy's better, my mood's more stable, and I know all that is just going to keep improving as I stay off of these things longer. So I'm not gonna lie, it's hard because it's like every bag of chips and not that we eat a lot of those, but like everything in our pantry, I was like, none of this is okay anymore. My organic, like super healthy trail mix, because the nuts were roasted, they're roasted in oil. So you'll be surprised by the things that you will find in this. And yes, it might mean like we either have to go totally raw on a lot of things or take on more food prep days, or whatever that's going to look like, but getting that off of that stuff. And I heard from the Dr. G is what she goes by, but Dr. Michelle Gordon that I interviewed in that podcast will be coming out in the next couple weeks. It really makes a huge and significant difference. So I want to know in the comments below this video, wherever you're seeing it, whether it's on YouTube or on our Facebook page, or if you're listening on the podcast, send me an email, dralex@emergentwomenih.com, and let me know that you're taking this on and how it's going, and let's band together and get off of this stuff, because if you've been struggling, I promise this is going to be a game changer in a lot of ways. Even if you don't lose weight from it, you're just going to feel so much better. So do that. Also, if you love this show, love, the tips that we give, love the interviews that I have so many interviews I'm doing this year, which I absolutely am enjoying and can't wait to bring you even more. But if you're loving it, go ahead and I made this super simple, go to subscribe to dralex.com, and you can actually subscribe on iTunes. If you're on YouTube, please just hit that subscribe button and, follow us. It helps us get out and reach even more and more women who need to hear some of this stuff and are on this journey just like you, and maybe need a place to tune in and connect. So please do one of those things. Subscribe to dralex.com or click that subscribe button down below this video on YouTube, and we will talk to you next week.